Alrighty, so here's a little update here. Went ahead and working on our passenger side fender and just wanted to mess with this just a little bit. I got to fix some rust holes in it, and I got to fix this channel that goes along the edge right here. A little bad spot right there, but that's actually in the skin. I think the bracket is still good, but kind of gouged it a little bit right there, but it's alright, it can be fixed. But I'm just messing around with it a little bit. This one's really solid, so that one will clean up real nice. I got to make a piece for right here. I ended up having to cut that out, unfortunately, but that's all right. But I had to make that little piece there and fix a little piece right back there. And I think we're getting there. It's coming along. So that's coming along. I did make a piece for the other side, so I'm gonna use that piece for that. And yeah, I will clean it up a little bit better than that, but this fender's going to clean up real nice. So I'm not a fan of the antennas on the fenders here, and just not much of a fan on them. Something new like this, I don't really care, but I'm just not too much on them on like these older cars. My Etzel had one too, and I didn't take it off. It was actually like that, but I'm gonna shave this one off, and I'm actually going to shave it off on my truck too. Pretty much just about all my vehicles I'm going to shave it off, except for like my Durango and my 89 F-150 and probably my 78. I ain't going to mess with those, but just not a fan of them. I just like that nice clean look. And I mean, technology nowadays, you really don't need them anymore. So you can move the antenna. You could actually hide it like under the speaker or on top of the speaker or something like that. But anyway, that's kind of besides the point there, but I'm just not a fan. I just don't like the way it looks, and I don't know. I like the look. Like on the 50s cars, I like dual antennas on the back, and that's where I'm kind of getting at with this. But that's what I'm gonna do to my Etzel. That's what I'm gonna do to the Biscayne, and that's what I'm gonna do to the 57 Plymouth. So I want to put dual antennas on the back. I think it looks cool. So I started off as a hole like this. And then I just took and, it's weird how that paper glows like that. Then I just took my handy dandy cutoff wheel, cut it into a square like that, made my template, laid it on my sheet metal, and welded it in. So that's what we got. So I think it looks pretty good. So nice and smooth. Won't feel any high spots. So it looks pretty good. I gotta finish it out just a little bit, but cleaned up pretty good. So I shaved it off. Looks good under here too. So it's blurry, I apologize. It looks good under there. You can't ever really tell. And I'm not gonna weld this up, the little hole right there. I don't want to weld that up, because if I ever want to put that back in there, I can do it. But all I have to do is come in there and then just re-drill it back out. That's all I have to do. So I left that alone. You don't see that anyway on that side. And turned out pretty good. Pretty good. I gotta finish it off there, and I know it's a little ugly, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. I just took my time with it. It took me about an hour and a half to do it. I just took my time. Don't want to put a lot of heat in this stuff. Learn that the quick way. You do not put heat. And these fenders are 20 gauge, and a lot of this stuff is 20 gauge. But yeah, you don't want to put a lot of heat into it, but I think it turned out pretty good. So let's see what it'll look like. It's gonna look pretty decent there. Got a couple little pinholes, but that's gonna look pretty good. So yeah, just a few little pinholes. Ain't bad though. A bit down there, a little bit up there. Yeah, it's gonna look pretty good. Laying down pretty good. What's it look like? Come on, phone. Yeah, that's gonna look pretty good. Definitely ain't perfect, but it's alright. We'll fix a few pinholes and I think we'll be pretty good. But that looks a lot better. Looks a whole lot better than this. I can't stand them things. Yeah, it's gonna look pretty good. Fix a couple pinholes, but man, this thing's pretty straight. Maybe a little bit low, maybe just a little bit, but it's all right. I can always go underneath that hole there, and I can always tap it up just a little bit. But yeah, one thing to this stuff is do not put a lot of heat in this stuff. You cannot put a lot of heat in it. I spent about an hour and a half on this, and I still gotta go back and I'm gonna weld up them pinholes because I don't want no pinholes in it, none. I want it completely smooth. But that'll help too. And then yes, I know, I do all this work, don't ever finish nothing out. I know. It'll get finished out. I just like to do all my patch panels and rust repair and all that first, and I just threw this on here just to get an idea of what it's gonna look like. And it'll kind of tell me, you know, if it's high, low, or whatever, if I need to get up underneath here and tap that little piece of metal I put in there. If I need to raise it up just a little bit, or if I need to tap on top of it to lower it, you know, vice versa. But it's going to lay down pretty good. So, yeah, that thing is clean. It's crazy how clean that thing is. But, man, that looks so much better. I'm glad I shaved that off. That looks a whole lot better. I ain't got nothing against the antennas. I just, on these 50s cars, you know, I like them on the back. It looks a lot better, I think. I like the dual antenna look. It looks pretty cool. One of them is, I think one of them actually might have been for like a phone back then. They had an old rotary phone, and it worked off, yes, I know they didn't have cell phone towers, I know that, but it worked off, how'd it work? The radio antenna, something like that. Not this antenna, but the actual tower, because they had AM radio back in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just guessing there. I think they actually, dual antennas, I'm sure they had to serve a purpose. So the purpose, probably one of them was actually for that. Because if you watch a lot of old movies, they got an old rotary phone like sitting underneath the dash on top of the transmission tunnel in some of these old movies and all that. And they're from like the 50s and 60s. And then like Car 53, Where Are You? That's a good example of them. Yes, I know they had CB radios and all that, but I'm talking about actual rotary style phones. But one antenna was probably for that, and then one was probably just for regular radio. So that's what I think why they had dual antennas, and now people are just taking them and just like the look, kind of like I do. But I don't know. Like I said, I ain't got nothing against them. I just don't like them on the fender. I just don't like that. I don't know. It just looks tacky. I don't know. I mean, it just depends on what it's on. But in this case, I like it on the back. Looks a lot better. Yep. Like I said, a dual antenna's on the back. It'll look awesome. I like it. It's going to look awesome. I don't care if they work or not. I like that look. This car might be kind of rough around the edges, but I tell you what, it's starting to come along now a little bit. Get this front clip wrapped up and get this frame cleaned up and painted and get the firewall painted. And you know, eventually we'll put the 454 in here, and I'm gonna keep this a 3 on the tree. And no, I'm not drag racing. We're not gonna drag race it. I just want to retain the original 3 on the tree. I think that's cool, and I want the 454. So that is the plan, but for now we're going to leave that in there. We're not going to mess with it, and you know, we'll just be able to move it around and all that. And I'm probably actually going to take the 10.5-inch clutch that's off the back of my 283 and put on here. And I mean, might as well. It'll save a little bit of money. And I got to figure out something to do with that 283. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'd like to put it back in my Chevelle, but we'll see. We'll see. I really don't plan on doing that because that's the whole point of building that 94 TBI. But anyway, yeah, this thing's going to clean up real nice. And I don't think the motor, this shouldn't be in the way or anything. Should be able to get to it. I don't think it'd be in the way. But I want to get the windshield out and get that out and get this dash fixed. Just kind of working from the front clip back. So we'll do the firewall next, do the frame. And when we do the frame, I want to get new ball joints and bushings for it, rebuild the whole front suspension. And we'll make up some brake lines, not a big deal there. And then just kind of work our way back. That's the plan. And then we'll do the dash. And then we'll get this door lined up and get it straightened out so it opens and shuts like it's supposed to. And then once we get that done, then it'll be the dreaded floor pans. But we're getting there. We'll get there. But might make some patches for now, like I was going to do originally, and just put something in here so we ain't got to Fred Flintstone it. And later on, when I get some money, I'll get the real floor pans. But this car's definitely going to get the real floor pans. It's just like $2,000 right now, and I just don't have that kind of money, and I got other things going on. I wanted to make a video, don't want to drag this out, and tell you what, it's nice to put some life back in this car. See y'all later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.